Hello and welcome to episode 0 of my Pokemon Platinum Randomized Nuzlocke. Today we will be picking our Pokemon, that is why it is episode 0, not episode 1, because it is not really an episode, rather it is an overview of what exactly a Nuzlocke entails, what a Randomized Nuzlocke is, and of course allowing you guys to help me pick my starter. Well, pretty much picking my starter, I'm not really putting any input in that. There will be a straw poll in the description, so please do remember to vote when it does come time where you can see the Pokemon that you can vote for. I do not think we need any information. It's not like we play Pokemon or anything like that. I'd also like to ask you all a question if you'd like to answer in the comments section. Which Pokemon Professor is your favorite? Which trade do you like the most, I should say? We're just gonna go through his typical. Oh yeah, he wants us to hit the. Sorry about that. I do that quite a few times. Funny thing is, when I was checking to make sure this was the Shram was randomized, I actually did that for a good 5 minutes. I thought he had a super long amount of dialogue, but that is of course a hazard when you're playing through the game and do not, that is of course a hazard when you're commentating and not quite paying attention to what the text says. I would also like to I'd like to say that I do have a layout right now. It isn't quite ready, and as I had to switch computers, I didn't get as much work done on it as I would have liked to have. But rest assured that it will be up on episode 1 with our starter, and we will use that layout from that point onward. It will have a face cam and as well as other features that are rather important. We are of course only going to ever name ourselves one thing. Whoops. Unless we misspell it, in which case it would be two things. No, it's TCR. Because the entire name will not fit. What is our rival called? We are going to name him Emo. This is after another YouTuber. I believe he's a vlogger for the most part, but he also does frequent my stream quite often. Well, he's there pretty much every night. One of my mods and a pretty good YouTuber from all the videos of him that I've seen. I will leave a link in the description to his YouTube if you'd like to check it out. Help support him. And we will go through blah 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 blah. And we shrunk the kid moment right there, and we are going to go on ahead and watch this news broadcast, which is actually just a still with some lines running through some solid dialogue. That is a lie. Pokemon are not by your side in this game. Only in Heart Gold, Soul Silver, and Yellow version are they ever by your side in any sort of way. And even then, they're not really by your side. But how's that for overthinking things? Oh, such a very important thing. I am still not very good with voices since I our Leaf Green Nuzlocke, so please do forgive me if I do not bust out in some random voices. I'm sure most of them will all sound the same and equally hard to listen to. So honestly, I'm just kind of doing all of us a favor. I do not embarrass myself, and you do not need to hear the awful voices that I am capable of using. I am not a voice actor, do not claim to be, and it never has really been my interest to be a voice actor, so I admittedly haven't put too much time in it, although also admittedly I probably could. And I also just realized that I'm wasting a lot of time. So let's get down to what a Nuzlocke really is. Nuzlocke's pretty simple, it's a basic way of playing Pokemon. I also have a video on this if you'd like to check that out. Or not on this per se, but on what a Nuzlocke entails. It's a PowerPoint presentation, but I'll just go ahead and go through what it is basically right now. So Nuzlocke, harder way of playing Pokemon. And this one's randomized, but the rules are nevertheless the same with a few added rules. The basic rules will be that you must catch the first Pokemon on every route, or on each route that you run into. If you do not catch that Pokemon, then you do not get to catch an encounter on that route. The second rule is that all Pokemon you have must be named. Doesn't matter if they're given to you, doesn't matter if they're your starter, which I guess technically counts as given to you. Whether you catch them, whether you trade them, it doesn't really matter. They must all be named. I suppose trade you really can't name them, but if at all possible, you must name the Pokemon. Also, if a Pokemon is to faint, or faint in any way, shape, or form, whether by its own effect or by an opponent's, it is considered dead and must be either boxed permanently in a designated box for dead Pokemon, or released. I tend to go with the box because it's kind of an archive of our Pokemon that we have lost. And if you remember from my Leaf Green, or if you saw my Leaf Green Nuzlocke, you will see there was quite a few Pokemon there, namely one that was bat-shaped, that would have pretty much killed me to have released because it was such a special Pokemon, shall we say. And also fainted in a BS way, but I'm not going to bring that up again. Those are the three basic rules. The one overlapping guideline and rule of this is definitely that, you must, or the Nuzlocke only starts once you have your 5 Pokeballs. So if I am to faint, say my starter faints, before such time as I have 5 Pokeballs, or if my starter faints, okay, I don't have to catch an encounter if I don't have Pokeballs. That's kind of self-explanatory. And if my Pokemon faints before I have the 5 Pokeballs, then a lock is still on, because the lock only, as I said, starts upon getting your 5 Pokeballs. I am also adding a few more rules onto this, which will be a species clause, which would be that you cannot, or that you have the option, if you run into, say, a Azumarill in the grass, and you already have a Marill, you can go ahead and run away from that Azumarill and get a new encounter because it is of the same species. This obviously also counts if it's 2 Marills, 2 Azumarills. Doesn't really matter, it still counts just the same. And I'm also putting in a shiny clause, basically a clause you want to have anyway. Basically, that just means that, say I find a shiny, or say I get my encounter on Route 10. Then I'm grinding up my Pokemon on Route 10 and find a shiny Pokemon. That is the exception to the rule where you may catch that Pokemon on that route. But as shinies are exceedingly rare, that clause hardly ever comes into effect. It did come into effect on my last Nuzlocke, but you won't see it often used in any Nuzlocke, and I don't expect it will be used in this one, but I'd like to see it used in this one because shiny Pokemon are awesome. At least in earlier gens. I mean, it's more or less too easy to get shinies now because people just Pokegem them or whatever it is they really want to do for that. Anyway, enough jaw-jacking. We are now going to have the opportunity to go ahead and look through these 3 Pokemon, and I will have a straw poll in the description for you all to tell me which one I should use. One with the highest amount of votes will win the straw poll and will become our official starter for this Nuzlocke. So with that being said, let's go ahead and let the last few dialogue lines is what I was trying to say pass, and we will go ahead and look at what 3 Pokemon we have on offer. Okay, so which one will be our Pokemon? Will we get a Raichu, a powerful Raichu? Will we have a Lickitung? Just because, I guess. I mean, you have to love that big tongue that licks enemies. I have no idea. I can't really put a cool spin on a Lickitung, to be completely honest. Or will we have a Tyrogue, a Pokemon with a lot of potential, but not so fantastic at the beginning of the game, as it only really has Tackle. But it can become one of 3 Pokemon, always a little fun to see which one it turns into, and those 3 Pokemon are very powerful. So, tell me in this straw poll, or in the comments if you're on mobile, are we going to take the Raichu, are we going to take the Lickitung, or are we going to take the Tyrogue? I will have the next episode up on... This is uploading Monday, but you know what? It's still going to be up on Wednesday. Wednesday night, I think, is when we're going to go ahead and upload the next episode. So at that point, we will see who wins. So go ahead and, like I said, vote in the straw poll or comment. Do both, do neither, whatever makes you happy. And please do remember to show your support if you support this by... Please do remember to support this video if you support this LP by liking this video up, subscribing if you haven't already, and commenting both your Pokemon choice and anything you'd like to comment. I do try to reply to all comments that I get. Thank you all very much for watching, and I hope to see you all next time.